Good evening and welcome to this live stream. How are you all doing tonight? Hello Agent Zero, Mr. Twolfart, thanks for the 3 months. Marley, Mr. Federals, Major Geeks, King of the Railroad, who's ready for a 12G coaster ride. I don't think we're gonna hit 12 Gs today. I would like to try to keep everything under 10 intensity, and doing that with 12 Gs is gonna be a challenge. I'm not sure if it's even possible, but welcome anyway. I hope you're ready for some non-12 G rides. Neuro Squared, welcome. Nep73, the only theme park sim I ever played was the one for the PS2, and I only ever rode the rides. Riding the rides. That was possible on Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. I don't know if that was ever released for the PlayStation 2. So, yeah. Maybe, are there other theme park sims where you could ride the rides? I'm not an expert on other theme park sims. A ghost train into a pond. Why do you want to kill people? I mean, I get it, because everyone does, but you're a little overexcited. We haven't started yet. I can appreciate it though. 35 streams. Has this thing already been existed for 35 streams? I mean, I stream twice a week. That's only about 5 months. You know, a few weeks off for Christmas and such. So, yeah, that's not that long. Right, today we are going to play Heide Park, which is in real parks, just like Test Park, which is totally real. So, the objective is to have at least 1200 guests in your park at the end of October year 3, with a park rating of at least 600. Now, I don't give a crap about the goal. I just want to see Heide Park, built in Heide Park, expand it, have some fun, and we'll get the goal. Now, the fun thing about Heide Park is that you can actually beat it by doing nothing. I once beat this ride, this park, this scenario, by literally doing nothing. Just open it up and wait. That's it. It took a lot of attempts, I can tell you that. But it worked, eventually. Now, as you may know, this is one of the parks that comes with Roller Coaster Tycoon 1. And it's one of the real parks that comes with Roller Coaster Tycoon 1. It's in Germany. That's why it has a German sounding name, Heide Park. Well, this sounds, could be Dutch as well. Heide is Dutch for heath, so could be Heide Park in the Netherlands, but it's not as German, because that's where the real park is. I have no idea how accurate it is, because I have no idea what Heide Park looks like. But we got a lovely car ride. We got a bunch of heists and shrooms and pumpkins and other huts and stalls and all that kind of stuff, which looks nice. You know what? We shall just have a look-see. So, let's see if there's street view in Heide Park. I guess that's where the entrance is. Yeah, there's the old timers. That was that car ride. So I'm guessing this is supposed to be... Oh no, it's Germany. Of course there's no street view. Well, we can see this. Yeah, I can see where they got it from with all the little heists and stuff. You should just look up pictures on Google, I guess. But here you can see the white corkscrew and the white bobsled. And we do not in our park have this white corkscrew, Flug der Dämonen. Which probably means demon flight. That one should roughly be here, but it's not there. Wait a minute, we have 2 white corkscrew coasters. Are they? Oh yeah, there's one, there's one. And there's a... It says... They all say... closed for now. What do they... Oh, because it's winter. Yeah, it's always periodically closed in the winter. This picture was definitely not taken in the winter, considering the car park. You know, here's a little lake. That's supposed to be that lake. With as well the merry-go-round in the middle and the boat hire. And then there the car ride. Can we see those? Well, there's no merry-go-round in the middle. I do see white things, which could be boats. There is a picture here. Yes, there's boats. There are more rafts, but there's no rafts or boat hire in RST2. And there should be a car ride somewhere here. Maybe that, but I already attributed that to a different car ride. Maybe it's Captain Thorn and it just... No, that's of course a boat thing. Bounty, maybe? No, that's a... Looks like a pirate ship. Yes, that's a pirate ship. Which is there? Yeah, Bounty. Schiefschaukel. This one's called Monza Rennstrecke. I do not see that here. I mean, that park was built more than 25 years ago. So, any ride may have been removed since. Got the Panoramabaan and Kraken. Well, Kraken is a dive coaster, which is definitely not there in our park. We do have, we can see the big tower here, which is also not there in our park, I think. No. This is still a tower, but it's a different ride. Oh, we have here Wildwasserbaan 2. Do we have a Wildwasserbaan? Should be roughly here. I don't see it. Okay, what about this bit? Because we have water here and there are a load of rides there in our park. Drakkengrotte, Drakkensamen, monorail. We've got mountain rafting, desert race. Let's see, what's all there? Is this desert? Grottenblitz. I think I saw that. Kanaalvaart. Marchenvaart. That's a monorail. Schwebebaan. That's the mountain rafting ride. And here we got merry-go-round 1 and Riesenkraken. Here we got Santa Maria. Let's see. So they should be... Oh, here is a Wildwasserbaan. Number 1. We got... Hey, there's Peppa Pig Land. Right. Does that mine train coaster even meet any of its stat requirements? No. It's got 0.3 excitement. I'm pretty sure it fills all of them. Maybe not the vertical. Let me check. I've got the list ready. Mine train coaster. So 6 meter drop. Well, definitely not. That's 1 meter. 2 drops. Oh, it's got that. That it's got. 36 kilometers per hour top speed. Nope, got 28. 370 meters. Nope, it's 154. And 0.10 negative G's. Nope, it's only got 0.23. So it fills 4 stat requirements. That is stats dividing by 16. To be fair, it got quite a lot with 5, which is more than usual. Well, yeah, it's got the length requirement. That's not all that common. It's not like, nah, it's not exactly uncommon either. But the most common combination, which you see on like a lot of steel coasters and stuff, is just a drop height, drop count, length, and negative G's requirements. Place Kraken in your park. Which was Kraken again? Was that the black one? Kraken. Yes. Which does indeed mean Kraken. I mean, you can see the tentacles there. I am a tentacle expert. Okay, so Heide Park Kraken. Let's actually look it up. I don't think this site's gonna be. Okay, so we got a chain lift, then a 90-degree turn, then a big fat drop. That goes into like a dive loop, Immelman, whatever the hell you call that. There's another little hill. Is that a 0G roll? Could just watch an on-ride of it. Okay, that I don't want to do in incognito because then we get ads. I don't want to see YouTube ads. Come here.
An automatic windscreen
James
wiper.
May. It's stupid because I did not even have a YouTube tab open, but I was watching a James May video before I live streamed. So I opened YouTube, it automatically loaded that video. I wanted to start typing in the search bar, but somehow did commands for that video, which is still like small in the bottom right. That's annoying. Anyway, Heide Park Kraken. Let's see how it goes. James May is always entertaining. Yes, he is. Hey, Neri, welcome. Oh, it's a 360 video. Oh, hello. I wanted to zoom out, but I scrolled down. This is trippy. It's weird only being able to rotate, because usually when you're in there, you actually can also move your head about a bit. You know, you can actually move over the side instead of just pointing your eyes in that direction. There you can see all the white coasters. Okay, so here we go into the mouth of the Kraken. Then we get our, whatever the name of this element is. Like opposite of a dive loop. Hill, turn to the right, brakes. Okay, I can do that. Oh, wait a minute, and then we go under there back to the station or something. Okay, I'm not quite... Hang on, I need a longer on-ride. I want to go back to the station. Because that confused me a bit. Yeah, because here... That's it. Well, that's typical of dive coasters. Okay, you know what? I'll just look that up on Google Maps. Right. So here's the station. Then it goes like that with the hill. Now like that. And then it goes over the station on the brake run. And then it goes back into the station. Now we can't do these angles, of course. We only got 8 angles to play with. I also don't really have the space or the ride type to be able to do this. Well, that helps. Hey, now we got it. Like, it's somewhere crammed in here. You really don't have the space to build Kraken. But I'll try. Let's see. Okay, it's the first bit straight and then the turn. Isn't it on the little lake? Part of it is. Okay, yeah, it's a bit... It's, I guess, starts here. You know, I'm starting in the wrong position. The monorail is in the way, though. Or is it all the way there? Maybe. Hang on. Next to which lake? No, because that's that lake. It is between the two lakes. Which I did right here. Oh, don't got no cash. Right, we do have a 4 million loan. Okay, of course, holding brake for drop. And then... and now what? Hang on, if I do enable all drawable track pieces, what do I get? Large 0G roll, hell yeah, that's what I need. Because then we can medium half loop this. And that's roughly what we need. I'm not sure if I don't think the car has the sprites for this. Not vertical enough. Oh, whoops. I forgot to do a vertical drop. I bet. You know what? We'll actually go underground. The other way around. First half loop, then dive. Wait, I need the small do I need to turn off the cheat again to get the small version of this? It's a bit ugly, but it's underground so you don't see it. Hang on, you say first the half loop, then the dive. I'm a bit confused. Luckily, we can just watch this again. Right. Yes, of course. No, that makes sense. So, I need to go up like that then. Then... Reload the land. Also, monorail in the way. Hang on, we can alter that monorail. Right, footpath in the way. I don't remember us going up earlier, but I guess we did. There we go, good enough. We'll make it a large half loop. Why can't we... Oh, right, because I don't have... Drop should be pointing at the white coaster. Look, I'm working with what I have. There's angles we can't do. Is that rotated the right way? Need to rotate to the right. You know what? Let's have a little look-see at the map then. I mean, the station points almost perfectly south. But then this goes more... Oh no, the station is... No, the station is that. The station goes basically diagonal. You know? This is kind of on a diagonal. I can't do that. I can't make those angles. I have to either put it that way or that way, and the first one seems better to me. Almost the same direction as the corkscrew goes. Yeah, but the corkscrew station... I mean, it's a... This looks better to me. Okay, then we'll have like another little hill. And then we have a brake run here. We do have diagonal brakes. Do we have downward brakes? Yes. But I think going down there, I think this is better. Also, I'm not an expert at this, but I think this fits better like this than 90 degrees turned. Right. Time to make it black. What colors is it exactly? Is it just black all around? Yes. That's boring. Okay, let's have a look at the trains. Well, that's black with a bit of red. I just keep trying to zoom out as if I'm on Street View. It's mostly black and brown and red. It's just a very black ride. So we just make this like maroon. Well, that color seems accurate to me. Oh, and the support's black, and then we're done. What a boringly colored ride. Although I guess in real life, you don't. The colors in real life work a bit differently than in video games, of course. Well, we've been working on this park for over 3 months. Well, we've had it open for over 3 months. I've only built 1 ride. That's a new record for me. It doesn't make it? Oh. Well, that's not a problem. Oh, god damn it. I was not at all paying attention to that. There we go. was not at all paying any attention to the heights. Oh, we got Ducky 5 Park 9 days ago, 9 minutes ago. Yeah, we don't got quite those sprites. Okay, that brake run should be a little bit smoother. Bump. There's a traffic jam. Nice. Okay, now the brake run is a lot smoother. We'll play Roman vampire style. Free. We charge for the rides or do we not? No, we charge for the entrance. We charge $50, so that's not bad. Let's advertise some because we need them monies. We are losing money bad. Like we're hemorrhaging money. Oh my god. 6,000. Just 6,666,640 in just alone every month. How about some Pirates of the Caribbean? That's a good idea. We do have pirate style. Ah yes, Drunken Sailor. Thank you for the 7 months, Harry41. The Dux has arrived. Is there a maximum waiting time of like 5 seconds? No, I only have a minimum waiting time. Well, actually, no, I have none. 2 guests boarded and the train left. It can leave pretty quickly if there's not a minimum waiting time or it's past the minimum waiting time. If there's even just a small gap, the train may decide to leave. Basically, maximum waiting time doesn't make it leave quicker. It just means that it'll force it to leave if something else is preventing it from leaving. So it does not change the behavior and how it waits for the guests. It's just that if there's something else that prevents it from leaving, like waiting for full load or something, then it'll leave anyway. Which is actually a thing that I've used in my next longest coaster. At some point it waits for full load. There's also a maximum waiting time to force it to leave anyway if no guest comes. You know what, the coaster doesn't look half bad. It's a bit taller than the rest though. I mean, it's taller than the observation towers. Why are there 3 observation towers in this park? From how many angles do people need to see it? So the maximum waiting time overrides the need for full load. Yes. Or any load. And I believe sodas depart when the train hits the station. I don't often play around with those, so I'm not really that familiar with them, but I've used them on occasion. Okay, the ads have run out. We need new ones because we didn't make enough money. It's ridiculous how much money we pay in loan interest payments. But seriously, who thought that was a good idea? You have these parks and they all have a massive loan. The other 2 do as well, which is Alton Towers and Blackpool Pleasure Beach. And they all have a massive loan. This one has 4 million. Alton Towers has the biggest, which is why I use that one for the challenge. How fast can I pay back the loan? Yeah, we already used the cheat to unlock everything, so we don't need to research. We just ignore research. We also have a company value of minus 3.5 million. Which is pretty low. Since guests only pay at the entrance, it might be good to have a low maximum waiting time to get people through rides quicker so they leave quicker so more people can enter to take their place. People don't leave if they go through rides. That doesn't help. So yeah, there's no mechanism. I mean, I guess it would make sense, but there is no mechanism for, oh, I've ridden all the rides, let's go home. People have absolutely no qualms riding a ride for a second or a third time. In fact, they even get more enjoyment from it the second time. Although they do tend to prioritize when picking a ride to go on rides they haven't been on yet. How rich are these fellas? 100, 80, 100, 80, 80, 80. There are 4 amounts, not just 2. 100, 100, 90. There's the third. Now one on the end. 90, 70, there we go. 70, 90, 80 or 100. So let's just go for 70 then. We can definitely charge that. How old are these rides? This year, they're all new. Yeah, then we can certainly charge that. I mean, this vertical drop coaster alone is worth like 15, 16 bucks. What are the stats? 712, 728, 338. Okay, that's pretty good. Is there even vanilla guests with over 100? I know that Evergreen Gardens is 100. Like 70 to 100, I believe. That's pretty high. I mean, this one's too, so I don't know if there's any over 100. I do remember when I was very young, more than 20 years ago, I was at some point charging $80, well, probably guilders, maybe guilders, maybe euros, for Evergreen Gardens. And I still had trouble making money. I don't know if that does not mean necessarily that they spawn with 70 at least, because I wasn't paying much attention to that probably. I might have turned away a quarter without realizing it. What's the trigger for people leaving the park then? There are 3 or 4, depending on how you look at it. But, I mean, there's kind of 2 separate triggers. One of the triggers is that people that have been in the park for at least like 4 roughly minutes and haven't ridden a ride yet. If that's the case, if they're in the park for a few minutes and haven't ridden a ride yet, then they will attempt to locate a ride to head for. If they can't find one to head for, they'll go home. So, unless you build like a very specific setup, you can't keep guests in the park that haven't ridden a ride. After they have ridden a ride, because that's only like a one-time thing, and that's a thing, you know, after they've ridden a ride, that can never happen again. So that's why it's kind of a separate check. After they've ridden a ride, there's only 3 possible ways for a guest to go home. I mean, I guess there's also, if the park is closed and they happen to walk into the entrance, they go home. But then they just go home because the park is closed. But wanting to go home is if either their happiness is low, or their energy is low, or their cash is low. And in parks where money is disabled, the thresholds for happiness and energy are slightly higher. That doesn't mean they automatically go home, because every 12.8 seconds there's a check if they should go home. So then it checks those stats. And if any of those stats is too low, then there's a roughly 5% chance that they actually will want to go home. And if they want to go home, then this will say leaving park. And they'll think I want to go home, and then that's it. You know, you can't get them out of that. No cash leads to low happiness and energy too. Who told you that? Well, yeah, good point, because then they can't afford food. If your food is free, then that's not a problem. Or if they just spend a lot of time in queue lines. Well, you still slowly lose energy eventually. Our food is not free though. But yeah, we could make a lot of money by just doing that. Putting a no entry thing there. And then it'll overcrowd here. People will get unhappy from overcrowding. And then they'll just leave the park. And meanwhile, they still come into the park. But yeah, if you take a guest who has ridden a ride, so not that one, like, not that one, it's like that one, and you put them on a path somewhere, and you give them some food that does not produce litter, make that free, this guest will never go home. Never. Because his happiness won't go down. In fact, every time he buys food, it goes up. And his energy will stay high because he has food. And this food produces no litter, so there's no, the park value, the park rating doesn't go down, and he doesn't get annoyed by litter. What about his need to pee? Oh yeah, good point. Hunger and like thirst and toilet will eventually lower their happiness. I'm not used to that because that's a recent bug that's been fixed that OpenRC2 has had since forever. Might need to put an entrance there or like a drink and stall on toilets, but yeah, if you put an entertainer there, you'll never want to go home. So we can just put Sideshow Bob here. This guy feels like a Bart. There we go. Now that guest will never want to go home. Ah, that's some good water. Thank you, Weatherby. I don't like the fact that guests have to walk all the way around there. So... that doesn't work. Time for a railroad crossing. Damn it. I want my railroad crossing. There we go. That works. It's immediately a popularly used path, although that's partly because guests randomly stumble into it because it's on two straight-on sections. Because for anyone who doesn't know, guests are more likely to head straight on if they're at the junction and not heading anywhere in particular. I thought I recognized his stylish hat. Ooh, we are making money. Not very fastly, but we are making money. Yeah, we made 3,000 in July, which is not very much. You know what, I should just put stuff like this throughout the park. Sell hats for $4. That'll make me some extra money. We can also sell cuddly toys. I mean, umbrellas will be 20, of course. Cuddly toys will be 5. Drown the newest guest. Alright. What is the... well... the newest one that's actually properly in the park is 4,093. It's too crowded here. Oh right, I trapped them. I forgot. So eventually they should be leaving at rapid rates. Because they'll be getting... yeah, he is already getting unhappy from the overcrowding. What's the guest attraction value? Yeah, no, it's not 2.6k, so trapping them is absolutely useless. Yeah, the reason it would help is because then our guest count stays below the soft guest cap, and that will mean we keep attracting guests, but naturally as well, in addition to ads. But with the ads, we've gone well over the soft guest cap. But let's have a look. Like 2200-ish? Yes, 2218. Well, we can just build a few more rides, of course. It's not that big a gap. Okay, you are gonna go downward launch. Minimum waiting time on a launched freefall is weird to me. There's no reason to. Like, there's no reason to space out. I mean, it's realistic, of course. No, in real life, no train's immediately gonna go if no guests are around. In fact, I don't... do they even ever let empty trains go in real life? Like, if there's no people, do they keep the trains going every so often, or do they just kind of make the roller coaster sit still until people show up? I don't see a reason to keep the trains going, but maybe there is like a mechanical reason to just keep it going that's good for the ride, that every so often the train goes. Do they even let unevenly loaded cars go on a free fall? Oh, I have no idea how any of that works with limits on unevenness and whatever. So I can't comment on that. Okay, do we want the puke factory? Why is there no connection there? Let's build a puke factory. There we go, that was 4 pieces of path and it's a good connection. We're gonna put this to berserk mode. It's got 7.94 nausea. That's insane. They do if they're running two train operations and only 1 train is full, so it doesn't sit on the break run. I mean, obviously, you're not gonna keep guests sitting on the break run. That would be a bit cruel. What on earth is berserk mode? Have a look. It's just the most intense mode there is. It goes absolutely berserk. Berserk is a good word. Personally, would have given the top spin the Candyland music. Well, you can do that. I am quite fond of Candy style. I like the bass as well. But of course, the best thing you can do with it... Where's my sound? Why is it suddenly quiet here? Hang on. Oh. There is music, but I wasn't hearing it. What? Why does it go quiet when I zoom in? Oh, because it's not that one that's playing. That makes a lot more sense. I was just hearing another. I was hearing that merry-go-round when I zoomed out. Hey, thank you for the 28 months, Nissa. Free the trapped guests. Sure. Well, they are leaving. Eventually, this will make us more money. I'm gonna put a few entertainers around here to keep them happier. And hope that they just go home from not having gone on a ride. Okay, now a thing I learned recently, because usually when I wanted to get older music on a merry-go-round, it's that I would change it to a different ride type, change the music, change it back. But I learned that you can just do unlock operating limits and then you get all the music. And of course then you can. This is the best thing ever. Poor guests that are on it. Okay, I'll allow a mechanic to fix it. Wait, do I still have other sounds off? Yes. That's also why it was so quiet. Also, you know, I have recently discovered, if I read the code correctly, that entertainers are random. I always assumed that if there was an entertainer around, every few seconds or whatever, the guests would get a happiness boost. But if I read the code correctly, the guests actually only get a happiness boost when the entertainer doesn't entertain anything. So wave, if they wave or if they do like a showy thing. Did it just broke down again? That was not me. And the entertainers doing a showy thing has randomness. Which means that if I ever do my video, can I beat Roller Coaster Tycoon with the worst luck possible, that entertainers are not an option. And that's gonna make things different. Does it look to anyone else like this thing is floating? Like this Roman scenery item looks... To me it looks like it's floating above the path. Well, not when a guest walks in front of it. It very much looks like it's... I don't know why. Maybe it kind of looks like this fence pole is going under it. It looks like it's floating. And of course, once you do something like that, then of course the illusion goes away immediately. Now there is a floating one. Now it is floating, but there's also actually one behind it. And you truly cannot see the difference until a guest walks by. Only then can you see the difference. There are two of them now. But this one could just be behind there now. It looks like it's on the ground. It's not, it's floating. That's brilliant. Like these two are totally next to... Wait. Yeah, the Temple of Trippiness. We made 17,000 from the entrance in September. Okay, we built a few more rides. Then we do eventually get our soft guest cap above our guest count. And since the guests are happy there now, we have got enough entertainers. We will get a lot of guest generation and thus a lot of money. Our guest count will slowly continue to go down, because no guest can ever enter the park and go on a ride. So, yeah, eventually it will go down, but quite slowly. Only if a guest randomly stumbles into this bit, then they of course get stuck. McAsher would be proud. Oh, he's always proud of me. There's not really a lot of space to build here, is there? Oh, we can build a little here. Asher is brilliant. If I remember correctly, he's from Leeuwarden. Because I went to Leeuwarden with a friend a while ago, and there I was surprised to learn that he was from Leeuwarden. I didn't even know he was Dutch. But apparently, he is. Well, that is quite a compact and ugly river rapids. And we need to renew the ads. No minimum waiting time for you. There have to be some vandals, there are some broken benches. Yes, I saw that as well earlier. We need to get on that. Okay, let's have a look. I think they're old. I think they've been vandalized for a while, but you start with, I believe, only 7 handymen in this park, which is just not a lot. And in fact, puke problems would, when I try to beat this without doing anything, would often be the root issue of all my problems. Of you know, the park rating failing if I was unlucky with the handyman path thing. Well, I say unlucky, it's more like, unless I was extraordinarily lucky with the handyman path thing, the park rating would eventually go down because of too many pukies and stuff. There's still quite a lot actually. And that meant we wouldn't get enough guests, and that's why you would fail this one without doing anything. That ought to do it. For what they're paid, of course they're going to half arse it. I mean, a month takes 6 minutes and 49 seconds, I think. They're paid $50 a month. $50 per 6 minutes and 49 seconds. I wouldn't mind to be paid that. I think they're paid quite well, you see. Because, yeah, they may only get paid $50 a month, but if we assume that they are just regular people with a job, regular guests only need to eat like once or twice a year. And they can buy food for a few bucks. So they only need to spend like $5 a year on food. And they make $400 a year. That's very little food expense. Well, double it for also drinks, I guess. That's very little, the $10 out of $400 a year. That's equivalent, if you make 40,000 a year, to spending $1,000 a year on food. Or on average just €3 per day. Most people spend way more. Also, why does my preview on Twitch keep pausing? That's annoying. Not that I look at it a lot, but it's still annoying. Duckify Park. Aye aye, sir or lady. The economy of wrecked land is weird. Yes. I don't really know how much they charge like for rent or mortgage. That vert layout is actually pretty dope, very clean. Thank you. That's because I recreated the actual ride that is roughly here in the park now. So it's not really my own design. Yeah, it's almost as if someone engineered it IRL. It's this one. Is there a photosphere nearby? Yes. There you go, into the Kraken. Of course, getting all the angles right is not really, it's not really gonna work. Not really gonna happen. I knew it couldn't be a Marcel special. I mean, I'm just not that good at coaster design. You know, I'm very good at this game if you're talking about the goals of the game. You know, getting high park rating, getting lots of guests, getting high stats, that kind of shit. I'm very, very good at that. But if you're talking about realism, no, definitely not. Okay, what's our soft guest cap? Let's just keep it on. 25, 28, nearly our guest count. Should build a roller coaster. Oh, look at that. Look at that image. I'm sorry, but this is such a beautiful image. Compare that to compare this to that. This one is so much more bright, so much brighter, so much nicer to look at. Although, this is just Raven Racer, by the way. I do like the dueling ones in here, but they generally use more muted colors in the RST2 pictures. This one is so much brighter. We got a bunch of these compatibility ones. I mean, these two don't really see a difference between. They're taken on the same ride anyway. They're both from the Mega Park one. It was extremely common to see people recreating real rides. These days people focus more on hyper-optimization and ultra-compact layouts. Surely there's still people doing that kind of stuff on, like, New Element or whatever. I think it's more that... I don't think New Element and those kind of people have really shrunk in numbers. I think it's just that people that play RCT more like... well, like I do, I guess. I think those have just grown in numbers massively. And outnumbered the communities like New Element. I should actually... yeah, why not build a hyper first? Well, for it, build a vertical drop, which is similar. Let's do a stand-up. I like a good stand-up. A lot of recreators have moved to Planet Coaster and No Limits and the like. Ah, yes, that probably too. It's a good point. Oh yeah, the soft gas cap, that's a plugin for RST2. Well, open RST2. Oh, stupid pirate ship. See if we can go through them loops. I mean, it's not really hard, he says while he fails. I think I just need... There we go. Well, there, will appreciate that. Oh yeah, we have new elements. I forgot. I should show you these new elements. First though, corkscrew. It can't make that corkscrew, can it? No, definitely not. Maybe now? Drink some water. Yes, sir, or lady. Okay, look at this. Look at this. Look at these quarter helixes. We have quarter helixes now, people. Well, they're not entirely new. A few inverted coasters already had them, like compact inverted coaster and such. But we now have them on a ton of other ride types as well. And they also exist. Well, not on this ride, because it doesn't have the sprites for it. But on other rides, they also exist banked. Not on the stand-up, because it doesn't do banked slopes. But on other rides, it does. Okay, did it actually make it? Yes, it did make it through that corkscrew, barely. They also appear to be on the multi-dim. Didn't the multi-dim already have them, like, when going inverted? I'm not sure. I believe it was Mix who did a lot of the work on this. Mixiate. So when they can do banked slope, they can do banked helix. Yes. And it's basically, the difference is... Well, let me just quickly get a coaster type that. These are all the RST1 trains, but all the RST1 trains don't have sloped banked turns. Hang on. Why is there only one... Oh, this is in challenges. Right. We just quickly go to this. So, what you have is these bad boys. And you can also bank them. It's just the same, but banked. And compared to a normal, you know, this goes every quarter turn, it goes up a unit. A normal helix goes up a unit every half turn. So you get a lot denser. So you see the difference in density? Now, what you unfortunately cannot do is fit another ride exactly in between there. There's not the clearance for that. I tried, and it doesn't work. But this will, like going from here to there, while only going up 2 units, that wasn't possible, I think, in this, like, in that kind of way. You can't do it with like small turns and stuff. So this is definitely a win. It's definitely something new. It's almost like suspended swinging helixes. Not almost, exactly. Like, that's just what they're like, although they are not called quarter helix. Well, no, they are called quarter helix, but you can also, I thought you could, yeah, you can also access them like this, which you can't do with the others, because then you get normal helixes. So can you? Hang on. If you just go like, then, yeah, that works. But if you're banked, you get the normal helix, and you can only do the banked quarter helixes, I think. via the special menu, because otherwise you just get the large one, which makes sense. But yeah, these ones of course were already in the game, and if you go like this one, then these are the banked versions of it were also already in the game. Hey, that is actually an exception, because this one does not have sloped banked turns, but it does have banked helixes. Interesting. How they see, but no, I mean, they're the exact same. These go also up a quarter unit, like a unit per quarter turn. And so do these. So yeah, they're exactly the same, which is very useful. They're not 100% new, but still adding them for so many different coaster types is gonna make a lot of things easier. Outer section. There we go. Now let's see if I overdid it or not. Because I'm hoping to do my 6 inversions without getting over 10 intensity. Will it be another awesome stand-up out of nowhere? I don't know. This is also the classic stand-up, which... I mean, this has no bonus, which is good. No intensity bonus. I think the calculations are the same. I have kept the speed very moderate. The G-forces seem to be very moderate throughout all the ride. Well, maybe a little bit too moderate. We can go 1 unit taller. We can't, because we can't buy it, right? No. Okay, that's not gonna work then. I guess we'll just have to do a small one. There we go. Well, let's hope that doesn't screw up the laterals. It won't make the loops either. Probably not. We'll see though. No, definitely not. Well, kind of overestimated the speed that we got there. That's not a problem though. Tudip. Tudip. Oh, and we can actually... What we can do is just... quarter helix down. And now we have no drop. Which saves us a drop. Oh, whoops, banked that the wrong way. At least I think those helixes won't count for a drop. I haven't tested it yet. I assume they're not a drop, but can't guarantee. I mean, let's count. How many do we got here? We got 1, 2, 3. That's a tiny drop. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 drops. Yeah, 8 drops, so no drop. And we got below 10 intensity. 9.69 on a stand-up with 6 inversions. That just shows you that you can do it. We even still got high lateral Gs with 2.1. I mean, it does make sense that if it barely makes that it's not going to make loops here. But I kind of thought the height difference between there and here was bigger. Which is why I went for it, but it wasn't. And that's why it didn't work. This is a more Marcel-like design, and Marcel should probably build entrance lines and exit lines. Otherwise no one's gonna go on it. I almost just moved on without them. You know what, we got the cash. Let's run longer ads. Okay, I think we've got a problem with people not leaving very much. Which is because they're constantly heading for stuff. And even though they haven't ridden a ride, well, this one has, because he got back from the park, but that one has 2. That one has... Are those... Oh god, all the people stuck there are people that have actually ridden rides. Well, not everyone, but a lot of them. And they won't leave because they're still happy, because they still have energy. And they still have cash. And they've been on rides. It's just waiting until they run out of energy eventually. They are already hungry. This is gonna take a while until those guests start leaving. What we can do, of course, is just that. Goodbye. How many guests were there? We had like 2,500. So that's already 700 guests. Yeah, about 700 guests. Goodbye. Can you overcome the guest lost penalties with happiness? No. But they only get lost if they can't find the park exit. And if there's one thing they can find from that position, it's the park exit. So they can't get lost if they're stuck there. So that's not a problem. We are now quite low on guests, which means we are going to get a lot of guest generation. And there we go, the graph updated. Lols. With the best park value award, that also means we got, what's it called? Extra guest generation from park ads or park awards. So yeah, I mean, this is already quite fast guest generation, but this is only half of it. The other half comes from the other side. And that is really quite fast guest generation. That's gonna get us well over 20,000 in a month. Are you scalping your guests for the entrance fee? Yeah, I'm charging 70, which is what the minimum is they can spawn with. Lol, they have low energy, they have pizza, but it's too late for them. I've never seen guests with a food item outside of the park, I guess. But there's suddenly a lot of pizza-going guests walking outside of the park. Where did they suddenly come from? Huh. We can get even faster guest generation if we get more awards. Like, if you do all the ads plus all the awards, like full natural guest generation, you get insane guest generation. I'm guessing you just never guessed I'm sure you just never registered it. Yes, I'm positive too. Like, let me calculate how many guests you get a month. So, standard is 175. And the park ads are 175, 62.5, and then 3 times 50. So we got all of those running, so we get some N9, I think. Yes. I'm having this in an Excel sheet. To N14 plus N7 times 1.25 to the power 4. That's 815 guests in a month. That's ridiculous. You can get 815 guests in a single month. On average, from maximum guest generation. That's only possible in parks where you charge for both the entrance and the rides. Like this is. How's Sideshow Bob doing? Well, Sideshow Bob is just an entertainer. It's all about Bart. He's heading for toilets too. The entertainer has entertained. We should add a guest entertained counter here. You know what? I'm gonna do that. Because that's funny. Not right now, of course, but you know, as a PR and see if they accept it. But yeah, Bart's got a P, and Bart is also thirsty. Which does lower his happiness, but Sideshow Bob increases it again. But yeah, Bart does not want to go home, he just heads for a drink stall, sometimes heads for a toilet. He's definitely not hungry. He can't find toilets too. And he thinks I'm thirsty twice. It's unfortunate that guests cannot have more than 5 thoughts. Because they can carry up to 20 something items at once. But they cannot have more than 5 thoughts. Okay, what did I name? Like, most items? Most money? Okay, I did not name it. It's sometimes always a bit of guessing what I named a certain save file for a video. Okay, not item something. Hang on, I'll just look it up. I'll look up when I made that video. Then I can sort these save files by date. Okay, so the item video is from July 28th. And we sort these by date. Now we look a few days before that. So, oh, it is 2022. Whoops. Just 3 years out of 3 years wrong. So July. Guess 22 items. Aussie 22 items. Okay. Why is he drowning? Okay. But yeah, he's currently carrying 22 items. And you can do 23, which I forgot in the video. But yeah, you can just make them spawn with a voucher. And then just do it for a ride they never go on. Or for a food item they never buy. But these are all the items, apart from the voucher, that the guest can carry at once. Although, at this point, I think the food item has gone, so this should be 21. But it's a lot. It's 4 different photos, it's a leaf, it's a toy, it's a lake. Wait a minute. The toy is item number 1. That explains a lot. So, for those who don't know, these items are always in the same order. I kind of wanted to do a nice order with them when I made this video, but they're always in the same order. So you can't make it be a nice order. And what is interesting is that the map is bugged in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 and Classic, because the map doesn't do anything. Instead, it's the toy that does the thing that the map is supposed to do. And the toy is item number 0, or, well, the first, which is number 0 in computing terms. So they probably just looked for like index 0 or whatever, which is the toy, and they thought it was the map. I'm guessing something like that happened. Huh. Interesting. Give Bart a toilet and a drink stall. No. Do you have a ride overview video for the single roller coaster? No, I do not. I will make one at some point. Not right now though. I'm working on the history of the longest ride ever built. And oh, it's gonna be a doozy. It's gonna be a very good video. So it's 45 minutes long. Probably gonna be done on like Sunday or Monday. I'm very excited for it. More money from Bart. No, we don't charge anything for his needs, because otherwise he'll run out of money and eventually want to go home. And we don't want Bart to go home. So a guest used a cuddly toy to help them navigate. Does that mean they take park maps to bed with them? Yes. They have sexual relations with their park maps. Hang on. Where's Bart? Oh, he's under there. Hee hee. Oh, you need to pay. Hang on, I can do this better. He'll never be able to go to the toilet. Sucker. He's Bart Simpson, he deserves it. Right. Whoa! 28,000 from park entry tickets in June. Who said you can't make a lot of money with park entry tickets? 29,000 nearly. And that's with just one award. I mean, we can do the math. We charged 17. If we got 800 guests, which is roughly the max, you get 56,000. So yeah, we're not even close to that. Bars should just pee on the ground. Well, the thing with real humans is that eventually they would. Because bladders have a limit. But Roller Coaster Tycoon guests are different. Although there was that one story of that guy who... I don't know the exact story, but police thought he had something in his system and they wanted him to poop so they could... like... get him on, well, drug charges or whatever. This is real. And then that guy just refused to poop. For like weeks. He was in his cell, they were waiting for him to poop and he just didn't. And eventually, that became a medical problem. And they had to get him to the hospital. Because otherwise he would most likely gravely injure himself from refusing to poop. I don't know what eventually happened. But humans can, if they want to, not poop for a very long time. Well, some people. I'm pretty sure most people would eventually just not be able to hold on anymore. Okay, what shall we build? How about a wooden wild mice? You have a handyman mowing grass. Yeah, that's RCT1's fault. That's handyman number 6. The asshole. No, you can mow grass in your little corner there, you bastard. We can actually pay off some of the loan. Wow, we've gone from 4 million to 3.99 million. That weekly profit is insane though from just park entrance tickets. Look at this stupid graph, entirely useless because he's so goddamn far in debt. Didn't in Alton Towers I pay off the loan in like just a few years? Like 5 years or something. I did go all out on the park awards, so, and I optimized everything else. Penetrate the corkscrew with a wooden wild mice. Alright. Oh yeah. You like that, don't you? This is the most normal looking wooden wild mouse you've ever seen. So many ducks. Nah, there are not enough. Can we still get more? Yes, many more. Well, I think we've reached the limit actually. That's still quite a bit more. Duck if I park. I just did that. I can't do it again. There's literally no space for more ducks. I mean, I can try. Click, 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 click. There's no new ducks. Oh, there's one. Another one. There's like 2 new ducks. What is this son of beast wild mice? Unfortunately, I cannot put an inversion on it. I'm reminded of a joke. A man is pulled over by the police and they demand a breathalyzer test. The man then shows a card saying, "This man has bad asthma, please do not breathalyze." So the police then insist on a blood test, another card. "This man is a hemophiliac, do not make him bleed." Finally, the police ask for a urine sample. "This man is an England cricketer, please do not take the piss out of him." I guess that works better if you are actually into cricket. I still get it. Although, well, I don't get the part why taking the piss out of cricketers is a thing. But I get the pun. Okay, you know what? This one's gonna only do full load, just to maintain speed a bit better. And we're suddenly out of cash. No, we're no longer out of cash. I knew someone who did that for a different reason. He was a home shitter, couldn't do that anywhere else. And then he had to stay at the hospital for a few days for an unrelated procedure. Didn't shit for days. He literally clogged up, couldn't even anymore if he wanted to. No laxatives helped anymore. He was bricked up to the max. At the end, the hospital staff got fed up with it and gave him a spoon. Right. Well, that's a nice thing to imagine. Now we get to the most exciting part, the long straight bits. Everyone likes this bit of the wild mouse. With the penetration bit, now that's a good bit. That's a good bit. Milde mouse, yes. Especially this bit, although if you don't like height, then that turn can still be quite thrilling. But this is so exciting, going at 6 kilometers per hour around this bend. Oh, 4 kilometers per hour even. Wow. Who designed... The person who designed this is a master designer. Absolutely. Ludly, 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 ludly. Look at that. 8.1 excitement, that's quite high. This is, of course, we're going over water, we're going next to scenery, we're going next to other rides, we're penetrating a loop, there's specific rounds for penetration there. Chris Sawyer encourages penetration. And 800 meters nearly is also quite long for a wild mice. Could you make a few more ponds so more ducks can exist? That's not how it works. There's just... Pond size doesn't matter. Well, you need like a minimum size for ducks to be able to spawn, but outside of that, there's just a maximum number of ducks you can have on a map. And it's either 3200 or how many miscellaneous entities are left over. Yeah, balloons, crash particles, that kind of stuff also counts as miscellaneous entities. The big 50, hey, 50 months. Thank you, Biscari. What a journey, even though I lurk on most of it. Yeah, you don't talk a lot, but most people lurk, so you're in very good company, and I do appreciate the continued support. It's kind of funny that, while 50 months is a good number because it's 50, it's also a bad number because it's not a nice number of years. 60 is kind of better because that's both a nice number of months and a nice number of years. But yeah, 12 doesn't... I mean, 120 would be the best, of course. Because that's 10 years. Same like 10 months, that seems nice, and it is nice if you're looking at months, but if you're looking at years, it's less nice. Base 12 supremacy. I mean, it does have advantages. 69 is even better. You know what is even better than 69? 6-7. I'll be here at 60 months too. Not if I stop streaming, which I don't plan on doing. But I could do it just to screw you out of your 60 months. What's your question, Jimmy Jazz? How do you want to test my geographical knowledge? Should be almost out of ads. Yeah. Whoa! I timed that well! Saying the ad should be almost over. 3 seconds later, they're over. I promise, I didn't even look at here whether it was almost the end of a week. Yeah, why not? Getting more guests. What is the full reason that Death Valley in California can get so hot and dry? A full reason I probably don't know. I mean, it's in a valley in the mountains. So I'm guessing that the mountains act as a rain shield. So there's not a lot of rain probably. But why it gets so hot? Honestly, I don't really know. Because usually hot air rises, you'd say. But Death Valley is extremely low. Like, below sea level. So yeah, I don't really know. It's just so nice lurking in here. Usually watch your streams to calm down before bed. Or maybe even sleep to your soothing voice. That's always fun to hear. I have the reason. Do you want to know? Yes, of course. If I don't know the answer, I would like to know. If I do the answer, I would also like to know, but that's irrelevant because I already know. But I would like to keep knowing. Ba 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 ba. Yes, Mr. Bones. He'll do nicely. Oh, the monorail's broken. That train looks extremely broken. Whoa. That looks very wrong. How did that happen? Is that just what they look like in turns? Ouch. That train needs a chiropractor stat. Hey, look at this. Look at this. The doors of this train are already open. The guests have already left. You know, you can... This one, I think, has just... Yeah, they just left. I think it was great. But the train is not fully in the station yet. And these final two trains don't have their doors opened yet because there's no sprites for opened doors on trains that are in a turn. As soon as they enter the station, then their doors open. Or as soon as, not really enter the station, but as soon as they go straight. What's some interesting Netherlands geography that a lot of us don't know? Well, I mean, Dutch people will probably know this. Because I don't think I know a lot about Dutch geography that, like, Dutch people don't know. I know where a lot of little places are, but that's not necessarily that interesting. Like the fact that I can tell you where Stampersgat is. Or that I know where Uskvert is. Or Zijdewind. That is not that interesting. But one thing that is a little bit interesting is you can see this province, right? Flevoland. We made our own province. That wasn't there 100 years ago. But one bit of it already existed. Urk. Urk already existed. It used to be an island. And then we un-islanded their island. And they're extremely conservative, Urk. They also have the highest point of Flevoland at 7 meters above sea level, which is a massive mountain. You wouldn't really notice it from just going through the village on street view, but it's very religious, very old-fashioned, and very, very conservative. There was another island between Nagelen and Ens. Oh, I did not know that. Let's see, there's Ens, Nagelen there. Ah, Schokland probably then. Right. Other interesting geography bits. I mean, there's whatever the hell this border is doing. This is the Baarle-Hertog-Baarle-Nassau border. Baarle-Hertog is Dutch, Baarle-Nassau is Belgium. I mean, all the way around. Baarle-Hertog is the Belgian bit. And you have these random bits of Belgium that are in the Netherlands. And the other way around. And here you have a bit of Netherlands that's in a bit of Belgium, in a bit of the Netherlands. And you have a few more of those. Here apparently there's a few meters between like the borders. And if you go, for example, on this street, then the border goes through the middle of this street. See, I believe there are border studs on the street somewhere. Yeah, see these little grey studs? Those are the border. There's the border with on those crosses. It goes that way. Netherlands, Belgium, you can see it. I think this is exactly the place where Tom Scott filmed this video, actually. About it. But yeah, that is interesting. Okay, the Death Valley thing. Not only does it technically sit below sea level, and it's a wide valley creating its own remote heat insulator. It gets amplified due to the fact that it sits right beside the tallest mountain and somewhat range in North America, Mount Whitney. Thus, when the cold air falls down from the highest point towards that valley, air friction occurs, causing the air to warm significantly by the time it sets into the valley. Air friction, really? I've never heard of that phenomenon. Interesting. Right. Build a coaster. What coaster do you want me to build? General reaction. We have a few options. I believe the Dutch have been doing this kind of thing for centuries. Here in Great Britain during the late 17th, early 18th century, King William III of Orange even invited some of his countrymen over to help with land drainage part in East Anglia. Oh yes! We have been doing this since like the 1300s, well maybe even earlier. Land, like water management. We are literally the best in the world at it. Because we've been doing it for centuries. Like one swinging suspended coaster, please. You got it. You know what? We shall build it over the entrance. Brrrp. Brrrp. Yay, we got an award for being the tittiest park in the country. Let's do a quarter helix, which already existed on this ride. Now that is gonna make you nauseous. New Orleans needs to bring Dutch water engineers to help. They already did. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that Dutch water engineers were called to New Orleans after Katrina. Up. Being from the USA, I like when Marcel talks about the Netherlands. I worry if raising sea levels pose a danger in the coming decades. No, they don't. Not to us, anyway. Rising sea levels are a problem for poor countries with low amounts of money for public works, like Bangladesh. Like, a lot of people in Bangladesh basically live in one massive river delta. They are gonna be fucked. We will have to invest in it, of course. We already built the delta works, which can definitely handle a little bit higher sea level. Of course, if the sea level raised by 5 meters or whatever, then yeah, we'd be screwed too. But that if that's ever gonna happen, it's gonna take many centuries. So while it is going to give problems for us, we can handle it. So I'm not worried in any way about rising sea levels. Kind of the only way I'm worried about it, well, I'm not, but I would be worried about it, is that it's just going to cost a lot of money. But in terms of like safety and casualties or whatever, not here. Right, stupid circus in the way. You cannot forget that you also have to keep the infrastructure in working order, eating an ever-growing sum of your budget. Yeah, but we'll be fine. It's gonna cost money. And, you know, it's not like we're not gonna suffer at all. It's not like it's not going to affect us at all, but if you're talking about like floods and all that kind of stuff, I'm positive we can prevent that. It's going to cost money, and we might have to cut in some other places to get that money. But if you're talking about like our existence, our lives, I'm not worried. How is that still in the way? I mean, I guess the train is below it. You know what? It would be quite fun if you could just build a path closer under an inverted coaster and just have the guests needing to avoid the trains. You know, gives an extra play element. Of course, with completely accurate accompanying graphical depictions of guests getting mauled by trains. But yeah, I need that in my game. Someone please give me gas decapitator plugins. Is there a site that's all of the OpenRCT2 plugins? Sort of. OpenRCT2plugins.com, I believe. The plugin directory. And it's not guaranteed to have all of them. I mean, it won't, because some are really specific, only made for just one park. But a lot of people will share their plugin on OpenRCT2plugins.org.com, whatever. Just Google it, you'll find it. All the commonly used ones you'll find there. Like, I've got all of mine from there. Netherlands has some weird borders. Like, what's up with the land to the south near Maastricht? I don't know. I don't know how that got like that. That's history, not geography. Geography is knowing that it is that way. History is knowing why it is that way. Damn, we got 8.8 nausea on this bitch. And we got a lot of elixirs. I did that on purpose. A very high nausea rating, because the others are quite significantly low. By the way, what Whisker is talking about is this bit, why this juts out to the south. And yeah, I haven't got a clue. I also rarely ever go there. This is our only bit of hills as well. Because here you got Vaals, which is the highest point in the Netherlands, well, close by anyway. 322 meters. And there's a maze. There's this maze on the 3 country point. And I've been to this maze twice. Both times with my mum. And the first time we could not find the middle, because the middle is the goal. After the middle, you just walk somewhere easily to the exit. Underground or whatever, I don't know how that works. But anyway, the middle is the goal, and we could not get to the middle the first time. And then we returned like 2-3 years later, and we went in for revenge, and we actually did get to the middle. Is that dotted stuff? Is that like drone footage? Well, what? Huh? Where is this? It is just completely inaccurate. Trick to maze is to keep your hands touching the wall on the side as you walk. Yeah, but that only works if you're looking for an exit. We were looking for the middle here. Okay, this is accurate, because the maze is on the left here, so at least the position is accurate. It's just a normal picture instead of a 3D picture. I mean, I guess thank you, Jeroen, but also not thank you, because I want to see that maze. Yeah, it looks like that. There's 3 bridges, and one of them, if you're there, you've pretty much got it. You know, when you walk around here, you sometimes get up on a bridge and you can see around a bit more. But the thing is, I always thought for the first time we were there that we had been on all 3 bridges, but we hadn't. There is one of these bridges where if you're there, you pretty much got to the middle, and I eventually figured that out, and then we managed to make it to that bridge. And at least when I was there, that was a bridge which had like more vines and stuff on it. Doesn't seem like that's the case here. There's also fountains at some point that just randomly jump out of the ground. And that might be able to get you. You know, like this one, but then actually in the maze where you have to step over them. I can't really see any here. Oh yeah, there. You can see them there in action. There as well, I think. There's the fountains. Yeah, there's more fountains. Those are not on right now. I've had a random fountain splash all the way up into my pants at Europa Park once, but it was a hot summer day and dried quick. Yeah, if you're on a hot day and you're on, yeah, you get a little bit wet, then you'll be fine. It's rather nice, actually. We really haven't made any progress with the loan. Because we started at 4 million, we're still pretty much at 4 million. And the thing is, we've been doing this for 16 months now. So we've paid about 270,000 roughly in interest. Which means that even without interest we would only not even have paid 10% back. But still, that's a lot of interest that we've paid. What is the most popular ride? Is it Kraken? It's a big loop. But in total? Yes, big loop. Kraken is only at 5,000. Hoogbaan. It's a monorail. Which has 6,000. I mean, it does have only one station, actually. How is that so popular? Did it just already have a lot of customers when we started the park? It is 2,300 an hour. If it keeps that up consistently, that's pretty good. Meanwhile, Bart Simpson is still desperately trying to pee. But not able to. If coaster trains would collide with guests, the trains should just continue, the guests should explode. I mean, if you do it like that, you can definitely, you know, do that with in-game mechanics instead of programming a whole new decapitation mechanic. Which would be neat. But actually making them just explode with a proper kaboom, you know, like that, when the train hits them, that would be funny. Ah, de alligatoren show. What kind of ride type is the alligatoren show? Circus, obviously. Stupid me. I was thinking of the alligator ride for the log flume, but that's a wee wee TT thing. Or RST2 expansion. The alligator show does make the seal noises. They're just really well trained alligators. Have you ever tried OpenRST2 on Linux? I know it works on Linux, but I don't do Linux, so I haven't tried it, no. But I know there's plenty of people that play it on Linux. You know, if you want to ask, if you want help, just ask in the Discord server, OpenRST2 Discord server, and you know, there's install manuals for it and all that jazz. The seals are what they feed the alligators with. I think even alligators don't need a seal a day. I mean, a big whale, great white whale, or great blue whale might need as much calories as a seal a day. There's very few animals that need that. What a masterpiece this game is. Haven't played for a couple of years, but still watching content about RCT. Thank you. It is indeed a masterpiece. You know, we were talking a bit earlier in the Discord server about like kid appropriateness for this game, and while it is a phenomenal kids game, I actually don't think Chris Sawyer designed this game for kids. I think that's just a coincidence. I think he just wanted to make the best theme park simulator, and that happened to be a good kids game as well. But I was looking at this earlier, and if we take a look at the old RCT website, archived by Gymnasiast on rctspace.com, if you look at, for example, the competitions, and we go to Steel Coaster winners, you get age 13, oh that's a kid, age 24, age 32, age 35, then another kid, another kid, another kid. You know, there's kids playing it. But I think there was one which had a lot of adults. I forgot which, but you know, 22, 26 also adults and 3 kids. 14, 24, 36, 17, which is, it's not really a kid anymore. Age 49. There's a lot of people of all ages playing this, and this is all from 1999. These are both from David. Oh, and there we got Lee again with age 49. I feel older games have a very different mentality than modern things when it comes to target audience. I mean, there were definitely games back in the day that were for kids. I played Mille Monteur. For the Swedish people, that's Mullemak. And for the English people that may have known of it, it's Gary Gadget. So, yeah, that was very much aimed at kids, and it's also from late 90s. And there was Freddy Fish from late 90s, aimed at kids. Red Cat, late 90s, aimed at kids. And very clearly aimed at kids. So, that's not just a new age thing. The guy who made the music for Skyrim also did the music of Freddy Fish. Oh, neat. There's there's a game at some point. I think it's just a completely different game, but I'm pretty sure it is. There's a game called like Learn Math with Robot Spot. And you know, I'll just load it up. Because I want to show you guys it. Because we had it on a double disc. We had a my granddad. I played Freddy Fish always at my granddad, because we didn't have it. My granddad had it. And on the double CD was also Learn Math with Robot Spot. Well, maybe it was Dutch only. Well, hang on, if I just do before 2015. No, that doesn't work. Math Blaster! There it is, Math Blaster. So yeah, it is not just a Dutch game. Does anyone remember this? Because that was a good old game. We have sound. Oh, yeah. We definitely have sound, yes. And then you have to
three-eyed trash alien.
what you have to do is zap trash. Like click on it. You have to collect trash. And then you have to solve math problems. You know, 5 plus 0, 3 plus 1. This is easy level, of course. There's more difficult levels as well that you can set it to. And then you got to this bit where you get all the trash, you process it or recycle it. And you have to like make these equations work. That one already works, but the next one says 0 plus 3 is 4. Well, that doesn't work. So what do? You press that one, and you press that one. Now it works. And this kind of has it works for two reasons, this, because it teaches kids math as the main target, but it also attempts to at least teach kids to recycle, I assume. And then you had this, which is what I remember the best, where you could only go through these if like your number was accurate. So it has 5, 4 plus 5 is 9. And that's why it works. I don't know why the other one works though, at 4 and 7. Oh yeah, you can get, you can have water droplets with like, to alter your number so that it's correct. Oh, your number needs to be in between, I think. Not like sum or anything, it just needs to be in between the two. Yeah, that's how it works. And you're searching for Robot Spot, by the way, who got kidnapped. There he is, that little blue fella. And here you need to solve a lot of equations again. And it was fun. And eventually you get your score. December 1923? What? Is that when they were born? On Wednesday 1923? Anyway, that was a fun game. This is from 1993 and I played this, well, about 10 years later. Okay, let's read Valder's comments. Free versus post-internet game design is pretty different. RCT is simple enough that you're expected to pretty much to try stuff and figure it out, and then it's easy enough that you can easily make progress while doing that. I agree. But it doesn't comport with modern gaming sensibilities. We get so many posts of people who open scenario 1, don't immediately know how to do everything, panic and make a post about it. That's very true. And not just on the subreddit, but also in the OpenRCT2 Discord server. We recently got a few people there who just seem to not try a lot of stuff on their own. Like, there was one guy recently there who said he had experience with Transport Tycoon, OpenTTD even, and couldn't figure out OpenRCT2. I'm like, I get that you're new to OpenRCT2, that you've never played it, or even RCT2 at all, but if you can figure out how OpenTTD works, surely, yeah, the buttons are slightly different. Like, you couldn't figure out how to do a new game properly. Like, he wanted to make his own scenario. And eventually I was like, well, just try something. I'm tired of explaining things. Also in the 90s, it wasn't uncommon for a family to just have 1 or 2 games for a system and that's all you played. So you would just little by little chip away at progress in the game because you didn't have anything else to play. Especially those esoteric, nonsensical point-and-click adventure games. They don't really make any sense in modern gaming audience, but they made a little sense at the time. That's true as well, I guess. People go through a lot of games nowadays. Well, back in the day, and I still kind of do that, we just play a lot of the same games over and over. I mean, every time I went to my granddad's place, I have played through Red Cat, through Freddy Fish, numerous times. That's just kind of what you did. Oh, I missed that. Thank you for the 1 month for the subscription, Micanthrope. But yeah, I mean, RST did have a tutorial, but it did not very much. But it's not a very difficult game to figure out. You have buttons, and you know what you do is you just open up Forest Frontiers, and oh, your park is closed. Well, you click on the park entrance. Oh, you see this, well, or a flag if you're in RST2. You click on it. And, oh, I want to build a ride. Okay, well that's land. Well, that looks like it builds a ride. Oh, I got rides. Oh, cool, different kinds of rides. Ah, merry-go-round looks nice. You click on it. Oh, I can place it somewhere. And it just works. You know, you build path and you immediately see the options for normal path and for queue line. And queue-line is even more accentuated by actually having people waiting on it. And also the tooltip if you hover your mouse on it. To make it seem obvious what it does. And if you don't know all that stuff, then you can just go to the next scenario. Oh, there's a ride there. Oh look, it's a queue line. The game teaches you how to do it by having already done some of it. And Dynamite Dunes is available from the start. And you know, Dynamite Heights, which is an even bigger park, is also available from the start. And Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 does not have as nice progression curve, but of course in various scenarios, like this one, there's rides, so you can still just really learn from looking at it. And you know, you also see benches, and you're like, well, where can I find benches? Well, you just try all the buttons. Oh, there's a bench there. Maybe it's there. Oh, look, it's there. And that's just, you know, this is very intuitive. I learned it just from being intuitive. I never read no manual. And that was nearly 25 years ago. I think the biggest difference is that everyone can communicate now. So you hear more examples of peoples and the dumber ones stick out more. That is true. Valder, maybe you are not so quite right that people figured it out more back in the day. It's just that the people who didn't figure it out gave up, did something else and never played the game again. Now, people who didn't figure it out may go online and ask questions. So there is definitely a point there. Like, inherently, people's intelligence has not gone down. If anything, it has gone up because lead concentrations have gone down. So the average intelligence is fine. It's just that people these days may be raised in a way that makes them less likely to continue trying. I don't know if that is actually true, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is. And of course the whole TikTok generation thing with low attention spans. Which I do unfortunately notice it myself a bit as well. Not that I immediately give up everything, but I do notice that I get distracted quickly. Now, distractible people existed back in the day as well, that's nothing new. Or maybe it's just other reasons that I feel like I'm distracted quicker than when I was a teenager or something. Maybe it's because I just feel guilty for not doing things I need to do. You know, things I'm actually responsible for now that I'm an adult. One interesting thing, which I find fascinating, is that what you would expect, right, is that people become more and more computer literate as time goes on. That makes sense, because people who are 15 now have grown up always with computers. But that's not how it works. People who are 15 now are, on average of course, there's always exceptions, but on average, way less good with computers than people that are 30 now. Because my generation, which is people that are 30 now, I'm 29, when we wanted to do something, like let's say mod Minecraft, we had to do all kind of weird shit. Like I remember having to delete like certain folders and such. I had no idea why that worked, I just knew that it worked. And games might also not work for all kind of reason, you would try stuff. Nowadays, a lot of it's just plug and play and it just works. You know, if on your phone you just download in the Play Store, you click download and then the app works. You don't have to install a game by inserting CD2 anymore. Young people are dumb. No, they're not. They just don't get challenged in the same way. Same way that you know, nowadays needing to know how to fix your car is less of a necessary thing. So I have no idea how to fix my car. I would curl up into a ball and cry if it broke down. I'm joking. I figured you probably were. But not everyone is when they say that. And there's nothing wrong with the plug and play mentality, because like we continuously do that for everything. In fact, people who learned computers in the 80s probably would say computers in the 2000s were plug and play. But it does mean that, for example, newer kids don't know how to work with file systems. Because they only do shit on a phone and a tablet which don't have file systems. Well, under the hood they do, but as a user you don't see it. Young people don't face seem challenge. Try to explain to a 50 plus to be able to see with a video made by AI. Most kids already know how to spot them. What? That was a bit of a... I had a little bit of a stroke trying to understand that. I don't face the same challenges, you mean? Yes. And younger people are just good at different things because they experience different things. And that's always going to be the case. We will always need programmers though. Because you can't write apps on an iPhone. That's a quote at least I took from Tom Scott. Well, I mean, maybe now you can. He said that quote 10 years ago. Now it's probably different. Look at those right dollars flowing in. Well, they're not from rides. It's all the rides be free. Maybe from stalls. As a software developer, I can confirm my job has never felt more redundant. I don't think that has necessarily to do with AI or with like phones and stuff being able to do it. It's just AI mostly. That can do your job badly. It's still easier to type with a dedicated keyboard. Yes. Also, you guys are my age, roughly, on average. Do you guys also have the big screen thing? Like, I will not book a hotel on my phone. I will not type an important email on my phone. That's a computer thing. Now, a laptop is fine, but it's a computer thing. I need a keyboard, I need a big proper screen, I need a mouse. That makes everything a lot easier to navigate. I absolutely cannot stand touchscreen keyboards. Oh yeah, those do exist. I just have a normal keyboard. I won't not do it on the phone, but I sure as heck prefer doing it on a computer. I mean, I guess I would do it on the phone well if I had to, but yeah, doing it on a computer is just much better. I also just can't type fast on the phone. I make so many mistakes if I try typing on a phone. I just fat finger the hell out of everything. So-called AI will never replace actual human programmers and creatives, but people in careers will endure the suffering until the accursed bubble bursts. Why do you say never? Because right now, and within the next 5 or 10 years, sure, probably not. But never? People would also said probably like automated cars, like self-driving cars, will never happen. Well, they're not quite there yet, but in some places on easy roads they can already do it. I tend to live fairly free of AI bullshit. You know, I don't watch TikTok, but I do use YouTube Shorts, and I don't really get any AI videos on there. I really only get videos that are very clearly human. It's just kind of the stuff I watch, I guess. I say very clearly human. I mean, there's plenty of cat videos there. But they're not videos of cats doing... Because AI videos tend to be videos of like animals doing weird things, right? The videos that I watch don't tend to be animals doing that very weird thing. It's just cute meows and stuff that I get. What's the goal of this park? To get 2,500 guests, which I'm pretty sure we have surpassed with nearly 4,000. In October year 3. If there's one thing I hope doesn't change, is YouTube. Well, change, I mean, doesn't go down as YouTube. Mostly because it's my job. But I think it's fine, because YouTube is so massive. And people say YouTube, you know, people have said with loads of different things that happen when YouTube does something bad, like removing dislikes or whatever. People will say, oh, this is the downfall of YouTube. They can't do anything. YouTube will downfall. And it never happens. There might be like 2,000 people who protest it or something. And in the meantime, they've gained 10,000 new users. That said, fuck all the shorts that YouTube is pushing. On my computer I have an extension that removes shorts. On my phone I can't really do that and it's annoying. Too big to fail. I mean, it's not impossible for it to fail, of course. Too big to fail doesn't really exist. But it does make it a lot less likely. Especially because YouTube is not just on its own, it's also with Google, of course. Which, it's all under the alphabet umbrella. YouTube changes all the time and never for the better. You know, if you would say YouTube never changes for the better, then at some point it will be absolutely dog shite. But I use YouTube just fine. Yeah, the search function is absolute ass. But the recommendation algorithm is pretty damn good. For me at least. The way that people get paid works well. I mean, yeah, there's some issues with the monetization and stuff, but like on the scale that YouTube works, there's always going to be some of those issues. Why is there a path above the monorail station? I guess that is just a scenery thing. Because you could not build actual scenery here in Roller Coaster Tycoon 1, so they sometimes used paths for roofs. That's not the only place. If we look at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, you got a big roof here from a path, another roof here, more path roofs. Any more? Not that I see, but maybe I'm missing something. But yeah, that's one of the things I had to do, because they could not build actual roofs. And this is not scenery, this is all land. You just had like skyscraper walls, terrain walls, and roofs. Oh, I can't do that unless I do sandbox mode. Yeah, now it's different. Maybe a Roman... I really like what they did with the Roman village. Where is it? I really never know which park is in which of the RCT1 expansions. Because RCT2 expansions, Wacky Worlds and Time Twist, have a clear theme, but the RCT1 expansions don't. There's no path as a roof here, but I think these buildings, they're terrain buildings, I think they're very well done. They look lovely. They even have courtyards and stuff. Of course, a massive aqueduct, and then more terraining here. It's incredibly simple. Oh, hey, there's path on the roof here. Yeah, there is a roof path. Path roof. So, yeah. We're looking on the ground. And the path. Yeah, so yeah, you got these kind of arches. It works very well. Future world. Oh yeah. It's got this path roof and that path roof. So, oh, and here there's more path roofs. There's a path roof on a path roof. How about that? And there's even more with all the arches. Looks very neat. Look at it, they even did, like the roller coaster is alternating color, so is the queue line. Right. That's gonna be it from me today. We end Heide Park with nearly 4,100 guests. We did pretty well. Mostly got them at... Why did we lose? Oh yeah, I exploded guests here. Lol. And I want to thank you all very much for watching. And I guess I'll see you again on Sunday. It has been a pleasure. It has been my pleasure pleasuring you. Wait, that sounds wrong. It has been a pleasure for me too. Already a decent park. Thank you. Well, the already is not going to expand. So, this is what it's going to stay at. So I'm going to see who I can raid. No one who I follow is playing Roller Coaster Tycoon. No one who I follow is even online. Why is no one who I follow... Yeah, there's 119 viewers in the Roller Coaster Tycoon category. I have 119 viewers. I am literally the only one in this category who's streaming. No one who I follow is streaming. Well, in that case, that will just be not a raid. So I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.